let's go over the preview side of Mozilla Thimble. So like I said before, the code on the left, your HTML and CSS, affects this stuff on the right, which is basically a mini window that allows us to see a web page. It's like a little screen that shows a web page. If you were working with two computers, what you would probably have is this be on one laptop and this be on the other laptop, but that's not the case for here. Mozilla Thimble allows us to see both at the same time, our code and our preview, really easily. And they have a lot of settings to make it easier for us to work. So let's go over these things over here, these settings for the preview. What this button over here does, it allows our web page to auto refresh as we're coding. So right now, if I change something over here, like I decide to make my header one a smiley face, it's going to be easily automatically updated over here. If I put this auto off, some of my code updates automatically, but some of it doesn't. When I have this auto off, what's going to happen is if I want to see everything, I have to push this little curly thing here, the refresh button. So in order to see my changes over here on the right side, on the preview side, I would have to push this all the time. I think for what's best for us is if we keep the auto refresh on. So I'm going to ask all of you to keep your auto refresh on as we're coding. That way we won't get confused about why we can't see our work, and I think it makes it much easier for us to work quicker and better. So keep this on while we're working. This icon over here is for the Toggle Element Inspector. And what this does is it allows us to see the correlation between our code on the left to the code on the right. So how you do this is, let's say I'm confused about where this word is in my code or where this bolded element is in my code. So what I would do is I would turn this on and I would start to hover over the areas. And what you'll notice is that when I am over on this side, we'll see a little outline over the region that I'm hovering over, and you can see the corresponding place of where it is in the code. So we'll see that, well, let me just tell you, is in between these two tags. Next to the Toggle Element Inspector, we'll also see that we have a desktop preview and we also have a mobile preview. For those of you who know by now, you can view web pages not only on a computer, but you can also look at them on your phone. And as designers, it's important to know what it looks like in any medium. So if I was working on a big website that was supposed to be viewed more on your phone than your desktop, I would want to click on this phone icon so I can see what my website will look like on a phone. This will be really useful later on as you develop and design more. The button next to this is called the full screen preview. So if I click on this, what I'll see is my website without all the code on the left, meaning this is what our website will look like to your users when they go to whatever your website is. This button over here allows us to view the console. We're not going to be using it so much for our lessons, but what you need to know is that the console later on can help you figure out where your problems are in your code. This is more relevant for things like JavaScript or jQuery, which we aren't going to touch during our tutorials, but I'm just letting you know that this is an option for you to check your code later on as you go on.